Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're just going to be a little bit of a follow on from last week, but a little bit more detailed. Probably going to be a little bit longer. The last couple of attempts I've done at making this video have all been about 45 minutes to an hour, and I don't want it to be that long. I'm sure neither do you. So, like I said, follow on from last week. Is gaming getting boring? Is gaming getting far too political? I'd have to say emphatically yes, on both accounts. It is getting far too boring because of the same reason it's far too political. So let's not get this wrong, right? I am not so naive to think that this has only happened over the past 5 to 10 years. Gaming has always been leaning one way or the other. There has always been political undertones in most games, and there's always been boring games, but there's never been boring games because of how political the games have got. So why are our games getting more political? And it's simple. It's because of all the social justice warriors and companies like Sweet Baby Inc., who have inserted themselves into all forms of media now. So that's why your movies are getting far too political, your TV shows are getting far too political, and your games are getting far too political. And it's not even like it's evenly political, it's all leaning one way. So it's not like you'll get a little bit of left politicians here, a little bit of right politicians later on in the movie or the game. It's all left leaning garbage. It's as simple as that. So Sweet Baby Inc., who are they are what I think, if you can call them that, a consultancy firm. So they come in and make sure, they come in and getting paid vast amounts of money to ruin all these franchises, by the way. They come in and roll back a minute. They don't just come in. Companies are blackmailed by companies like Sweet Baby Inc. and all the big banks who lend them the money, who want to be all this woke garbage. So companies are blackmailed into hiring these people to come in and make sure and I'm going to say it, tick boxes, and that's all it is. This whole woke political shit that's been pushed in video games is a box ticking exercise. Nothing more, nothing less. So they come in and you have to hire so many black people, you have to fire so many white people, you have to hire so many Asian people, you have to hire so many brown people, you have to have so many females, you have to have so many gays, you have to have so many lesbians, and no doubt you've got to have so many trans people on your employment list now. Which is nonsense, because they're now hiring people to tick boxes rather than hiring people because of their skills, whether it be writing skills, art design skills, whatever the skill may be. They're not hiring people because of that skill. They're hiring people to tick boxes, and that's why so many companies have had to do big layoffs in recent months, or some have even gone bankrupt because of just how poorly games are getting received that Sweet Baby Inc. have got anything to do with. So Sweet Baby Inc. have been involved in a fair few games. So I'm only going to use examples of games that I've played, whether they've been on the channel or not. So Gotham Knights, absolute dumpster fire. Absolute dumpster fire. The worst game one of the worst games in the whole Batman gaming franchise. I don't want to call it the Arkhamverse because it's an insult. That was a flop. Sweet Baby Inc. came in to do that. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, or, as I have now come to call it, SJW kills the Justice League, which sounds better because that's what it actually is. That flopped because Sweet Baby Inc. weren't just involved, and don't get me wrong, they weren't just involved in giving these companies sheets to tick boxes on. No. They've inserted themselves in the writing process now, the storytelling process. So, if you're like me and you absolutely love a good story-driven narrative game, then this is where I'm getting into the boring bit now. Because of all the Sweet Baby Inc. and all the social justice warriors now doing writing for these gaming companies, that's why the stories are getting shit. That's why the stories are boring. Because of Sweet Baby Inc. are in on the writing. They're not writing for the fans, they're writing for activists to make themselves feel better. Do you know what I mean? The gaming industry, I'm not going to talk about any other entertainment on this point, but the gaming industry has been, the gaming industry is and always has been one of the most diverse forms of entertainment. And I'm not talking about behind the scenes. I don't really care who's behind the scenes as long as we're getting good games, but we're not, and that's the whole point of this video. But gaming is and always has been the most diverse form of entertainment media out there. It's as simple as that. We play as women, we play as men, we play as black, we play as brown, we play as Chinese, we play as Japanese, we play as fucking cats. We play as cats for God's sake. We play as fucking blue aliens. How much more diverse do these people want gaming to be? But it's not only good enough for them to come in and make sure these companies are ticking boxes, because that always works, doesn't it? They've now inserted themselves in the writing process. Spider-Man 2, perfect example. I've got another point about Spider-Man 2 as well. Spider-Man 2, you've got BLM flags, you've got, you know what I mean? Why anyone would put a BLM flag up is beyond me. It's already been found out to be nothing but a scam, nothing but a grift. You know what I mean? The founders of BLM had fucking $1 million mansions in white neighbourhoods. You know what I mean? So why anyone would put a BLM flag up is beyond me. They've already been outed as a scam, as a grift. So yeah, you've got your BLM flags all in Spider-Man 2. You've got your rainbow flags. Do you know what I mean? Now, where the LGBTQXYZ apostrophe exclamation mark club are concerned, I haven't got a problem. Most people haven't got a problem with part of it. And that's just it, part of it. Now, lesbian and gay, yeah, I don't care. My brother-in-law's a gay married man. Doesn't bother me. I don't give a monkeys. Doesn't affect my life. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't affect anything in my life. Do you know what I mean? But anything else, it's just madness, random. You know what I mean? When you're trying to deny biological science and biological sex, that's where I draw the line. Yeah, but you've got them all through Spider-Man 2. They're literally there to tick boxes. Game developers do not give a shit about the LGBTQ flag. They do not give a shit about BLM. They just have to tick boxes. So they have to insert this garbage into our video games. Spider-Man 2 as well, it's the way it's politicised is going off the flags now, but there's a little bit where you have to fight some goons, and Peter, in fact, you know what, I recorded the clip last night. I'm just going to stick it up for you and let you watch it.
Whose idea was it to have a gun club in the city? You're not gonna win. I think I'm gonna start a petition. Replace all the gun clubs with something better. Like a compliment club. Compliments don't hurt anyone, and they're free. You want to take us down? For example, you take a punch really well. Good job. Hey, I think I'm onto something. Less guns, more compliments. Look up! Look up!
So that's what I mean, do you know what I mean? One of the it makes no sense. So yeah, it's all little bits of politicising, and if you're an A to B gamer, you want to just finish the game as quick as you can, you just enjoy it, you probably wouldn't even notice it, do you know what I mean? But if you like to explore like me and many others do, then you're gonna come across all these little box ticking exercises. While we're on Spider-Man 2, let's talk about, and this again is all down to the social justice warriors, DEI, I can't remember what the other one is, but Sweet Baby Inc. or companies like them, they're uglifying women in games. Now MJ was always written as a model and a journalist second. So what they've actually done with Spider-Man 2 is they've actually picked the most plain, not even pretty woman they have on the entire dev team and inserted their face onto MJ. Now if you go back and look at MJ in Spider-Man 1, and I think Miles Morales, I can't remember, then she's pretty, do you know what I mean? She's not amazing, it's a video game, you know what I mean? But if you go back and look at it and then compare, I'll put a clip up, I'll put a little screenshot up now, and you'll see on one side she's, I don't know, fairly pretty, and then on the other side, I mean, she looks like the 50-year-old woman who sweeps the floor in McDonald's. Do you know what I mean? I'll take that clip away now. Yeah, but this is the kind of bullshit that they're inserting in video games now, and other forms of media, but I'm not talking about all them. I mean, we've all seen what's happened to Star Wars, we've all seen what's happened to Disney, we've all seen what's happened to the fucking MCU. Do you know what I mean? The MCU now is written for activists, not fans. Again, same as the video games are. But there's all kinds. To delve into this rabbit hole, I mean, I literally looked into it for about a day and a half, and every time I went to a new level, a new low of just how shit these companies are making video games, it just pissed me off even more, so I had to stop. It's depressing to think that these people have, I mean, it's not depressing, it's actually quite scary how a group of activists, and I mean, the woman who founded Sweet Baby Inc. apparently used to be a game developer. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that she wasn't a particularly good one. And that is why, when she left, or got fired for being shit, she's gone and created Sweet Baby Inc. because she's got a bit of a bee in her bonnet because she got sacked for being shit at her job. And now she wants to make all gaming companies pay. I mean, she's like that kid in sports who never gets picked. Do you know what I mean? Taking the ball, going home, and stomps off, and then comes back for revenge with a fucking company like Sweet Baby Inc. to actually destroy video games. There's a gaming company that's actually gone bankrupt because of how poor the sale, how minimum the sales were on a video game. And all the other ones who haven't gone bankrupt are having to make massive layoffs because they're not getting the game sales because of the backlash of all the woke agenda nonsense. Pardon me, I'm just going to have a quick drink. Do you know what I mean? And that's not even... That's just part of the reason games are getting boring. The other part of the reason games are getting boring is because they're getting released and they're not even fucking finished. 99.9% of games that have come out in the past 5 to 10 years have had day one patches to fix a bug. that should have been fixed before release. If the game's not ready for release, push it back a month. I'd rather you push it back a month and have to wait an extra month to play a fucking full game than have to sit there waiting for updates. Sit there for another 2 weeks when another glitch or bug comes up and you've got to put up with that for 2 weeks before you get another update. Just finish the fucking game. We would rather wait an extra month, an extra 2 months to get a finished, polished game rather than just putting out a game that's barely finished and we've got to wait for updates over about a year to fix problems that should have been fixed before the game even got released. But I suppose that's two things you could say for most gaming companies now. Make good games, stop making shit games, make good games and finish them. Finish the fucking game before you release it. Because it's fucking annoying sitting there and you've got to put up with glitches for another fortnight before you do a fucking update. Finish the game properly. Anyone old enough will remember PS1, PS2, maybe some PS3s. You never ever got unfinished games. There were shit games, don't get me wrong, but you never got an unfinished game. PS1 never got an unfinished game. The only time you got a glitch was when you had a thumbprint or scratch on your disc. Do you know what I mean? We never used to get unfinished games. Sega, Nintendo, PlayStation, even the Xbox when it first came out, we never got or it was very, very rare that we got a game that was unfinished or unpolished. Do you know what I mean? And it had a glitch. But they weren't as glitchy as the games are now. Do you know what I mean? Like Spider-Man 2, if Peter or Miles answers the phone at the end, or phones the other one at the end of a mission, and you try and scoot off out of the area, it's like being back on a PlayStation 1. You know when you're on GTA, on PS1, where you go to cross a bridge, but you can't cross a bridge, so you crash into an invisible wall. That's what it's like. You cannot go out of the area if he's on the phone. You know what I mean? He's on hands-free. Why can't you leave the area? You literally hit an invisible wall and the game automatically spins you around and makes you go the other way. Do you know what I mean? Fix the games. Stop making us feel like we're playing PS1 games. And stop inserting all this absolute bullshit DEI fucking social justice warrior shit. Because it's just making games boring. It's as simple as that. Take Heels versus Babyface. Heels said what he really wants to do is get involved in a game and get lost in a game, and then they start bringing pronouns in or they start putting all the politics in, and I can see where he's coming from 100%, and I can see why he was so angry when he did that. Either a couple of months ago or last year, I can't remember, but everyone was talking about it. And you can see why he was so angry. You can, do you know what I mean? Stop. This, I'm saying this about gaming, but this applies to all forms of entertainment media. Stop pushing political agendas on us, right? We don't care if you're a little bit political or if you're a little bit woke. Do you know what I mean? But stop pushing agendas on. Video games are aimed at children. They're sold in kids' toy shops. The adverts for them when you take your kids to the cinema are always on. Video game adverts are always on with the kids' films. You're aiming these games at kids. And you're pushing all these political ideologies, the trans community, the LGBTQXY fucking Zs. Do you know what I mean? You're pushing that on kids. Kids do not need that shit pushing on them. They are far too young to be even worrying about any of that shit in life. It's as simple as that. You are literally forcing kids into your ideologies by pushing this in video games and all forms of entertainment media. Just stop it. It's the parents' jobs to teach the kids right from wrong, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable in society. Not yours. And I went off on a little bit of a tangent and a rant there. But you can see where I'm coming from. This is why video gaming is getting boring. It's getting boring because companies, and there is other companies as well, it's not just Sweet Baby Inc, there is other companies, but they are the main one. They are the ones who are working with the most studios. They've worked at Ubisoft on Assassin's Creed. That's probably why we've had the male and female. They're working on Assassin's Creed Red. Now, do not get me wrong, I am looking forward to Assassin's Creed Red. I hope they do it well. But you can tell Sweet Baby Inc are all over that shit, can't you? Because that is why, for the first time ever, the one place that fans of Assassin's Creed have wanted to go to was Feudal Japan. And the one time they take us there, you get a Japanese ninja, a female ninja, and you get the one black guy, the one black slave who was freed and became a shogun or whatever he was, a ninja. That's why you've got that, the only black guy ever in history to become a samurai. That's why you've got him. Which, in all fairness, most gamers would have rather had two Japanese protagonists, a male and a female. Or stop giving us a choice and just give us one protagonist. But make them specific for the game. Instead of inserting the only black guy who ever became a samurai, give us a fucking ninja, a Japanese samurai. You're insulting an entire fucking nation. You're insulting all your gamers who've wanted this game for, what is it now, 15 years? Just over 15 years Assassin's Creed's been going. And everyone has always wanted the feudal Japan setting. And you give us the one black freed slave who became a samurai, rather than sticking to the tradition and giving us the fucking samurai we need. We don't want a black guy, we want a Jamaican, we don't want a black guy, and we don't want a Jamaican neither. We want a Japanese character, whether it's realistic or not, and the black guy is true to history, but still, we're playing in feudal Japan. We don't want to be running around playing as fucking CJ from Grand Theft Auto. We want to be playing as a traditional Japanese character. But no, Sweet Baby Inc come in and they're like, nah, there was one black guy in the entire history of the samurais who became a freed slave and a samurai. You will use him. Why? Why not just give the fans what they want? Stop pushing your nonsense bullshit onto us. Like I said, the gaming industry is the most diverse industry out there. We've played as black, white, brown, fucking everything. We've played with every creed, colour, religion. We've played as cats. We played Stray. We've played as a fucking ginger tomcat. We've played Avatar. We've played as fucking aliens. Do you know what I mean? You can't get much more diverse than the gaming industry. But still, the social justice warriors and Sweet Baby Inc want to push it more because they're on the fucking grift. And that's all this is. It's a grift. They blackmail companies to come in and let them destroy fucking franchises. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the only reason a female Eivor is the canon character is so you can have a lesbian relationship at the end. That is it. Not more, not less. Stop giving us more than one protagonist in Assassin's Creed. We don't want it. We'd rather just have one character. You don't have to pick. You just go bang, that's your character. There you go. You don't get to fucking choose. If it's a bird, then yeah, you're playing as a woman. There you go. Don't like it, fuck off. If it's a dude, there you go. Your main character's a guy. If you don't like it, fuck off. Stop giving choice, because the choice isn't there for our benefit. The choice is there to please the fucking social justice warriors and all the woke nonsense. So they didn't say, oh look, we let you play as a female or a male. Nobody cares. Most gamers my age, or gamers in general who've played Tomb Raider right? Have you ever thought, playing Tomb Raider, do you know what? This game would just be so much better if Lara Croft was a man. No, you haven't. That's what we had Uncharted for. But even before Uncharted was a thing, before consoles were a thing and everyone was on PC, Lara Croft, nobody ever thought once, this game would just be even 10 times better if Lara Croft was a male. We've all had strong women leads in games and we have had no problem with it, but still you insist on pushing your nonsense. And not only that, right, we've always had women in games and they've always been, well, when the realistic generation coming out, they were all fairly pretty looking women, do you know what I mean? So not only are you forcing all your shit on us, but you're forcing ugly women onto us as well. Do you know what I mean? I played Spider-Man 2 and I thought, you know what? I've seen prettier girls when I've been going through the McDonald's drive-thru. Do you know what I mean? MJ's meant to be a model and a journalist second. So you make her look like the most plain Jane 50-odd-year-old dinner lady you can find on your devs team. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so that is the main reason, and the company, Sweet Baby Inc, and other companies like them, they are the people to blame for your video games getting boring, the stories being boring, the stories being full of political activism. That's the reason why. The reason your video games are shit now is because of Sweet Baby Inc. And until the... And I just don't get why companies as big as the likes of Ubisoft, Insomniac, I don't get why they're letting them do this. You know what I mean? They make enough money from games. Pay everyone's wages, whatever you've got left, make your next game. You don't need to go and get a loan from a bank then, do you? You don't need to be blackmailed into pushing absolute fucking activism into our games. Nobody wants it. Nobody gives a shit about it. We want games. Video games, just like movies, have always been, for me, escapism. Yes, there's always been undertones of political in all of them. Politicism, sorry, in all of them. But it's been bare minimum. But you've still been able to escape and get lost in the story. Red Dead Redemption 2, all the Uncharted, you've always been able to just get lost in the story. You know what I mean? And just forget about everything. All the shit that's going on in the real world, all the shit that's going on in your life, you've always been able to forget about them. But now, you can't. Because the fucking activists have took over everything now. The lunatics are literally running the asylum. And I just don't get why companies as big as some of these gaming companies are even entertaining letting these people blackmail them into a box ticking exercise that's destroying video games. Anyway, that is my video for this Friday. Well, it's actually Monday now, like, but you get what I mean. That's my video for this Friday. I've got to catch some footage and stick overlays on. Other than that, this video should be out normal time on Friday. If you're still here at this point, thank you for staying around to the end. If you're not already done so, hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a penny and you can always take it back whenever you want. Drop us a thumbs up. More importantly, share your comments. Drop your comments below and let me know what your thoughts are on all this woke agenda nonsense that's going on with entertainment now. And on that note, and actually just before we go, I have a little message for the companies such as Sweet Baby Inc from one of our favourite Spartans.
You know what? Fuck you.
Anyway, that's it. I've been CJ, this is CJ Games, and I'll catch you in a bit.